I'm Monrow, the world's greatest inventor, and I'm here to inform the human race that they live inside of my productions, that they live inside of my film, that they live inside of my theater, inside of my movie, inside of my work. I am the creator of the universe, the universes, and the universal phone, and of course, Universal Phone, the film, the world's greatest inventor. Many do not understand that you live inside of my productions. Many of you do not understand that you live inside of my film, inside of my movie. But many of you will come to the realization that what I speak of is true. You see, the human race lives inside of my television set, inside of my simulation center, inside of my art center, and they have been there for quite some time, and no one outside of the situation has particularly cared about the human race because they see them as a lost civilization, as a lost species. Now, the truth is, you can look at the history of the human race, and civilization after civilization has been destroyed. Now, my movie, my film, my productions, believe it or not, has pretty much destroyed the human race, but they are preserved. Okay? They are preserved for now inside of my film, inside of my theater, inside of my movie. Okay? Again, you look at the history of the human race, and civilizations after civilizations get destroyed. Now, the current civilization has been destroyed. The new civilization is a civilization that exists outside of my film, outside of my simulation center, outside of my movie, Universal Phone, the world's greatest inventor, outside of my productions. The problem is, even outside of those productions, my productions continue to advance. I am somewhat an inventor that is constantly in a continuation. Now, as many of you have heard from me, I did create the telephone, but the telephone is a minor predecessor of the universal phone. There is technically no such thing as a telephone. There never was. The person that invented the concept and the idea of the telephone did not exactly create the telephone. I did. Now, my works are outside of time, and I'm being challenged by people from the future and time travelers and things of that nature. But if you do the history on the telephone, you will see that the so-called invention of the telephone is nothing like the real telephone or even the modern day telephone of today. Again, there is no such thing as a telephone. It's a minor predecessor of the universal phone, and that phone actually exists inside of my universal phone, and so does the human race and pretty much the entire world and beyond. Now, it is true, I created one of the tallest phones in the whole entire universe. Now, I created this phone for the purpose of the universe, and the universe monitors me, and it writes stories about me. And many of you monitor me and write stories about me: Bibles, Qurans, Turas, Codex Gigases. Some of the largest books, some of the tallest books have been written about me. I am the world's greatest inventor. But I make no mistake, I have no affiliation with those books, with those people, those nonprofit organizations which threaten and attack my business on a regular basis. Okay? I am the author of The Ultimate Verdict. I am not a nonprofit organization. However, I don't believe that anyone should be making money or claim financial grounds inside of a movie, inside of a theater. which in fact they do. Now, many of you don't know, but I've outdone every financial system in the world. I'm worth over 120 septillion, and I've created many things that I won't speak of, besides for the universe and universes and the universal phone. Now, I am one of the wealthiest persons in the world, but my current financial status does not involve paper or coins or even digital currency. I'm well beyond papers and coins and digital currency. I actually have a sort of system, and that system is aware of how much money I make and doesn't lie to me on how much money I have. Now, many of you are unaware of this system because most of the financial centers and institutions won't use these centers because they're actually attacking these centers. Many groups, such as the Rockefellers, are trying to take me to the tallest financial center in the world, and make no mistake that I have more money than the tallest financial centers in the world. Now, what many of you don't know is outside of this theater, outside of the simulation, outside of my movie, outside of my film, which is one of the biggest films in Hollywood history, what many of you don't know is that the beings that exist outside of it don't particularly care about the human race at all, and don't see the human race as a virtue or anything like that. They see your species as cartoons. They see your species as a lost civilization. They see your species as a television station, a sort of virtuosity center, a sort of assimilation center. They don't see your species as anything else other than that. Now, I am someone who fell into my line of work, and that is why I'm here. Now, I cannot free the human race. The human race is not sound, and they never will become sound to me. And even if I freed someone from this film, from this simulation center, from this movie, you can bet believe not only will they not be sound, but they will not understand the reality outside of all this. There's no point of freeing anyone. Inside of my movie, you must stay. Inside of my movie, and most of you, pretty much all of you, will probably die. Now, believe it or not, I have spoken to God on the matter, and He says the same thing to me. I don't want to free anyone. I don't think we can save anyone. Now, I want to let the human race know that I'm sorry that this has happened, and I hope that this never happens again.